Alright, one more game to go in this quick look of the original Sonic trilogy as part of Fox Girls' favorites. This is the big one. This is the one that people really like. In a lot of cases, people kind of debate Sonic 2 and 3 a lot, but I think both are very good games. I think 3 and Knuckles fundamentally are a better game, especially if you take both of them combined. But I will always have a soft spot for Sonic 2 specifically. This animation is really cool because it just kind of establishes something in the manual of how Eggman actually tricks Knuckles into wanting to fight Sonic, wanting to throw hands and everything. And in general, I do think the animation work is very good. I don't think it's the same studio as Mimia's shorts, but it's a very similar art style. Like how Tails has like 9 tails in that, or more than 2 tails, as he is a kitsune. Yeah, I really like these again. I wish they just played by default every time you booted up these games, even on a new profile, but it doesn't actually work that way. Anyway, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So, for the first time in this playthrough, we're actually going to play Sonic and Tails, because, obvious reasons, you get a special fight if you're playing as Sonic and Tails, or just Sonic, even. Either way, we want to play as Sonic to actually get the final boss, which is kind of a big deal. I'm going to do my best to get everything. I cannot promise it'll be smooth, which is why I'm also not promising that I'm going to finish the game tonight, because I don't remember what the special rings are. I know where a lot of them are, but not all of them. Yeah, I don't know why the game seems way quieter than it was when I was testing out things. Why Origins instead of 3 Air? So, I actually tried to get that working, but I was having a lot of tech issues with it, like it was stuttering constantly. I was trying all sorts of fixes and it would not fix it. So like, I ended up just sticking with Origins because it's like, you know, consistent, I guess, because like, I just could not figure out what I was doing wrong with Air. Which is a bummer, because it would have been fun to try that out, but oh well. I've also tried like Sonic 3 Complete in the past, so maybe I should have gone with that instead if Air didn't work out, but oops. Kinda just thought of that just now. But yeah, convenience is the main reason. But hi, welcome on in. This should be a pretty smooth playthrough, all things considered, but again, there's the one downside of, will I remember where everything is in this game? Also, motion sickness warning for every special stage. I don't really like Blue Sphere, I'm not gonna lie, just because when it starts to speed up, it can be very disorienting. Like, micro adjustments, like a 90-degree angles are very jarring. Oh yeah, special stage retries, that's the other reason, because I'm actually really bad at these special stages, and I do want to get all the Chaos Emeralds. So just to ensure that we can have a relatively smooth time, I think that's one benefit. I don't know if anyone's actually patched that into Air, for example. But yeah, I don't know why I was getting so much stuttering. It might be like a weird frame cap that I had set. And maybe because I was running in windowed mode, but every time I tried running it in full screen, it was actually, like, it's barely not 16:9. Like, the resolution is slightly, shorter, vertically. So that was also throwing me off, so there'd be like, you know, slight black borders on the sides. Not a big deal if I had run it full screen, but also PC gaming just kind of gives me a lot of trouble in general. It's like, why, you know, even though consoles are obviously less powerful in a lot of ways, it's why I tend to still go with console versions, just because I have a better time getting them to run. Because I swear, like, PC gaming is just really fickle for me, to the point where I just kind of get frustrated. So that's why I always buy console games if I can help it. Even though the PC versions are objectively better in most cases. And it's like, I could fine-tune everything to get things working perfectly, but a lot of times, especially when I'm being extremely irresponsible and not actually planning for streams when I should be, things definitely can take a little bit more time than I expect. And if I'm doing things last minute, which, to be fair, the stream was very last minute. I almost did a game clearing stream today, but I couldn't pick a game, to be honest. I have like 2 game clearing games in mind. Both are actually semi-relevant at the moment. But I've been kind of bouncing back and forth between Devil May Cry 1 and Guilty Gear 2 Overture, both of which should not be surprising right while I'm thinking about these games at the present time. But it's just a case of like, I didn't do like audio testing or even capture testing for Overture. Hell, do I even have it installed? I should check if I have Overture installed, because I don't know if I do, now that I'm saying this out loud. Yeah, I just always grew up with consoles. Part of the reason is, as a kid, PC gaming was such a nightmare constantly that, like, we just kind of avoided getting PC games because so many of them barely worked in that era, unless you had, like, a special GPU, which I mean is still the case now, but, like, back then it's, like, all I had was a laptop, basically, and it wasn't even mine, it was, like, a work computer that my parents had, but it ran games so poorly, I just got really jaded about PC gaming, which is unfortunate, because there are benefits to it. Also, hi Esper, hi Caitlin, welcome on in. Now we have the fun task of trying to figure out where the hell those last blue spheres are. Again, every special stage needs a motion sickness warning at a certain point. There they are. I almost pressed the button too early, or the direction too early, and completely botched it at the very end. Like with Overture, for example, I've actually talked about this a little bit before, but I've had this like dream for a long time of I really want to own every Guilty Gear physically in some capacity. Keyword in some capacity, because there are some that are just ungodly expensive, I'm not gonna lie. Again, I don't know why the game feels so quiet today. If you want me to turn it up, please let me know, because I can barely hear it, to be honest. And I don't know why, because my readout looks like it's the same as when I tested it last night. Unless, like, my computer audio got reset. I'm gonna check that really quickly to see if something got messed up on my computer side. Real quick, because again, the actual readout feels very low. Nope, that looks like everything's fine. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, moving on. There should be 2 more special stage rings in Act 2, but we are good for Act 1. So, yeah, truth be told, I don't know where most of the special stage rings are past Angel Island, so we are going to get 4 of them here, partly so I don't have to worry about it later. Sonic 3 is a big deal because it actually was the first for a lot of things. For example, the classic, you know, level complete jingle. Like, this one is not in some of the other games. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this up. This is really quiet. I'm gonna bump it up to, like, be a little cautious here, but let's put it like this, maybe? If it's now too loud, please let me know. But yeah, I don't know why it's so quiet. Now that looks like it's coming in really loud, unfortunately. Like the explosion of like the... Wow, what happened there? I just went right for some reason. Like the music is really quiet. The sound effects are really loud. This is what I'm currently experiencing. At least on the readout. Again, maybe it's different on the stream, so again, please let me know. But either way, it's like... the choice of audio balancing Sonic games specifically, as Sonic, in my opinion, has some of the worst audio balancing of any video game series consistently that I've ever played. Like, every Sonic game has some kind of audio problem. Like, literally just look at any of the adventure games to see what I'm talking about. Like, it genuinely doesn't feel that loud to me, but the readout shows it being really loud, so I'm very confused. It's putting a subwoofers to the limit. That's true. It's like, it might not even sound that loud, but it's coming in louder, at least on the readout, just because of like, what is being used, essentially. I don't know if that explanation made any sense. I am not an audio engineer. There should be 2 more sets of these. So yeah, if we want to actually get the perfect on this one, which for the record I don't care that much, you do have to like jump over a blue sphere here in order to not actually get the all clear on the actual ring transformation, and so you can just pick this up here. Again, we're not really gonna worry about that for my sanity, but it's worth noting. Yeah, it still feels really quiet to me. Again, this feels quieter than last time. Sometimes it could just be my couch card acting up. Which I hope it's not, it's a fairly new one. Alrighty, Act 2. There should be one at the base of a waterfall. If it's the one I'm thinking of, this one shouldn't be too bad to get. I like how every Sonic game, usually later than the first ring, will actually give you like an automatic, like a freebie essentially. So for example, like you basically have to find that giant ring there because they just launch you into it. So that's how they introduce the concept, but that also is kind of to pique your thinking of like, oh, if there's a giant ring here, I wonder if there are any others in Act 1 that I totally missed. So again, I think it's a really cool way of dealing with like, tutorializing without like explicitly just spelling things out for the player. Like it's a subtle way of doing a tutorial and I really like it. So I think it's down here. Like we want to drop down. And it should be like to the side. Nope, that is not it. Okay. I kind of sworn it's at the bottom of a waterfall somewhere, but I feel like I actually missed it. Unless it's right here. Yeah, I think it's here, actually. There we go, so that's 4 out of 7, so... This one is, like, not fun, though. Gonna be real. This one just gives me a headache, not gonna lie. I think the really bright red is what does it. It just really... It really does not agree with me. Some of these just don't. Shit, yeah, I did not lock in there. We have 167 tries, so we're gonna be fine. It's just... It'd be nice to get through these really easily, but I don't trust myself. Hi Eden, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. We're just playing some Sonic 3. And Knuckles, but... We aren't at the end Knuckles part, and we won't be for a while. Again, I don't know how many streams this is going to take. I would love to finish it in one, but the way I'm playing, I'm not counting on it. I'm not gonna go for perfects. Also me, obsessively collects every goddamn ring, okay? Oh god, I'm getting motion sick already. This is gonna be fun. These are the easy ones. Yeah, the rapid turning, I think, is what constantly is throwing me off here. Oh god, I remember this part now. Well, time for the fun part. By fun, I mean the part I'm probably gonna botch at least a couple times. I should have done this during the speed up, not like before the speed up, but I did not think. Well, that sucks. That's a problem. So, the problem is, how do we get back to that blue sphere that we're missing? Because we missed oh, never mind, that was easy. I too must collect everything in my path in games, hell yeah. Me trying not to be OCD, also me ends up still being OCD about collecting everything. No, once we get to Hydra City, I have no clue where the giant rings are. If we find the giant rings, neat. If we don't, oh well, we'll try again in Marble, I guess, because I know where a couple are for sure. But yeah, I'm really bad at, like, memorizing things. Axel Kingdom Hearts would not like me, because I do not have it memorized. I like how I call him Axel Kingdom Hearts, because I actually don't know if he has a last name. I don't know if anyone in Kingdom Hearts has a last name besides Michael Mouse. And I mean related characters to Michael Mouse. Axel Kingdom Hearts, not to be confused with Axel Low from Guilty Gear. We had to get one in. That's funny. Yeah, they don't have established last names, yeah. You know, trying to collect everything, you see enough people obsessed with collecting everything in games that you don't really see a problem with it, yeah. I for one like collecting everything because I'm like slightly compulsive in some ways with completion. There are a lot of games I don't complete though. RPGs are the biggest though. Teenage me did try to 100% Final Fantasy 13 and that was a whole thing if you know that game. So the way that game works is the hardest achievement in the game involves collecting literally every weapon. Which is very annoying because you have to spend like a crap ton of money and get a ton of upgrading materials to actually upgrade every weapon. Also, if you sold weapons earlier in the game, you might not be able to get them back very easily. So yeah, that's not fun. That's been one of those like dream achievements, like someday I want 100% 13, because that was my first Final Fantasy. That might also be in this marathon, God help me, because I have 3 Final Fantasies that could... Actually 4 Final Fantasies that could apply, 6 would also count, because that's when I got my wisdom teeth out. So yeah, I'm biting off more than I can chew with this marathon, I 100% know that. Like again, I'm almost to 50 games, and it will definitely be 50 if I had those 2 Final Fantasies in. But a lot of RPGs crop up later on, so Fox Girls Favorites is going to be a very long series, is all I'm saying. It'll probably be at least a couple years to get through all these games. But hey, it gives me easy planning, because I don't have to like think of games on the fly to be like, oh, what should I stream today? You go out of your way to beat every overworld enemy? Oh, yeah. Zelda 1 is interesting. Wow, my voice is already kind of shot. That's a good sign. For later. Yeah. Hell if I know where any of the giant rings are here. I think we went the wrong way for one, because I think we need to be on the lower path. Never mind, we are now on the lower path. And again, the other, like, confliction I have at the moment is the, like, multi-versions. Like, for Pokemon, do I do Brilliant Diamond, God help us, or do I do, like, Platinum? And actually, like, the actual reason I say God help us is not because I actually dislike Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. I actually like those more than a lot of the fan base, to be honest, but I say God help us just because the discourse around it more than anything. I actually have a soft spot for Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, partly because I was technically homeless when I played it, so I have a little bit of a soft spot because it helped me get through that month. And then actual Diamond and Pearl are the Pokemon games I started with, so some version of Gen 4 will be in there. But again, it's a case of do I want to deal with everyone being like, ew, why are you playing Brilliant Diamond? It's like, I don't know if I want to deal with that, so maybe I'll just play Platinum. Plus it's like objectively better, to be fair. You actually have like a fire type you can find. So yeah, even as someone who's okay with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, yeah, no, there were choices made. Pokemon is definitely a series that's very much in a, I will appreciate these games from afar, but try not to vocalize my thoughts, because I just kind of don't want to get into them a lot, which again is the problem of like, oh yeah, I do need to play some Pokemon games for this series. The Pokemon games I have planned for this are, wow, brain. Okay, you cannot think while playing Blue Sphere. Noted. Wow, I already botched this. I'm just gonna take the L. Yeah, it's your first time playing Gen 4. Like, I don't think the issues with it would stand out that badly. Like, once they patched all the weird, like, bugs and everything, because it did launch in a pretty rough state, I won't deny that. I think Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is like legitimately like the best way to play Diamond and Pearl, but again, there's still Platinum to consider. But yeah, the three Pokemon games I would consider including would be Emerald, because of big life changes that coincided with playing Emerald for the first time. Platinum for Gen 4 rep, and then Mystery Dungeon. Explorers of Sky. I get called out by a Pokemon quiz. Oh joy. Ah shit. Okay. I did not lock in. I love Mystery Dungeon. I will still cry. I guarantee it. I've seen that ending twice. I will still cry during it. Same goes for like Final Fantasy IX. It's like... I was like watching someone play Final Fantasy IX the other day and I still cried at the ending. It's like no matter how many times I see that ending, it always gets me. So that'll be something to look forward to in like 2027 when I finally get to Final Fantasy IX. The funny part with me streaming all these games is I had basically planned some form of streaming for many years. To the point that I definitely think I have too many plans, in a way. Hell yeah, Pokemon Emerald is like, you know, Gen 4 is the nostalgic game for me, but I think I like Emerald as a game slightly more, if that makes sense. Like, I recognize, I think I would say, wow, okay, brain. Again, I don't know if I can play Blue Spears and talk, is what I'm realizing. Well, that's a problem. Okay, we're good. Maybe... yeah, I might have just royally screwed myself up here, but we'll see. Now we should be at the red spheres. And we'll just go up this path. Okay, so we only have one way to go, so let's hope this is the right way. Alright, okay. Thank God. Yeah, I think Emerald's the one I think is objectively like my favorite, even though I will usually say Diamond and Pearl Platinum because I have nostalgia. The other funny game I've thought about is Pokemon Channel. It's like ambiguously a favorite. I don't know if it really counts for this, but just for the fun of like, oh my god, Pokemon Channel, who the hell streams that anymore? Actually, Pokemon Channel makes it onto NSO, I'll be very happy. I don't know how that works like copyright-wise, because of like the dub and everything, but like I would love to have Channel on NSO. Yeah, you have the Insta-Shield in this game, you can actually take a lot of hits with it, which makes Sonic very broken in this game. Oh hey, Amy's even on the signpost there. The Pokemon Channel Renaissance. Also, Hey You Pikachu would be funny, because there's a mic on the system. You too can have Pikachu refuse to listen to you. I've actually never had an N64 period, so I'd be curious. I'd want to try it, just because I think it would be bad, but it'd be interesting bad. My philosophy with a lot of games is, I'm not opposed to trying most things once, which might be a problem, because I've been seriously eyeing, like, what if I played Balan Wonderworld? Like, would that be a mistake? Probably, but it could be funny. You know, recently I played Blinks the Time Sweeper for the first time, and I did not like it. I had a miserable time with it. But I was like, you know what? I actually am glad I got to try it, just because people do genuinely see a lot of good in this game. It was kind of nice to try it for myself finally, even though I did not like it. That's actually how I'm feeling about the original Halo at the moment. I'm also playing that on my spare time, and I'm not having fun with it. Though a lot of people have told me Halo 1 is very rough, so... At least I'm not alone in that. But either way, it's like, I'm glad I'm playing it, just because everyone raves about it. And I'll keep playing Halo, because like 2 is apparently a lot better. It's really funny to me how certain games just end up developing like a cult status when they're actually like not great. But, you know, they start a series, so, you know, they are iconic. Where the hell is Tails? Because I need him for this next section, I think. Because if I do this, oh yeah, you'll get locked in to going up. So yeah, there's Tails, god damn it. Where were you earlier? SMH. Because, yeah, a giant ring is over there, so I'm like, damn it. Bummer. Okay. If I was just playing Tails, I could have gone down my own, but with Sonic, you kind of have to rely on the AI, unfortunately. Which is not my favorite thing in the world, when the AI can be horribly inconsistent. Oh, okay. This is the way we have to go. So yeah, in general, actually, hell if I remember what I was just talking about. I'm an overplanner. That's kind of where I was going with that, where it's like, I come up with so many plans and then have the horrible, crushing realization of, oh wait, how am I gonna do all these plans? I might have been off more than I can chew. So that happens constantly to me. I'm definitely having that about this series, because, oh boy, I have committed to streaming a lot of games, potentially. Some of them aren't that bad, it's mostly just Xenoblade I'm worried about. Xenoblade and Final Fantasy, those are the main RPGs I want to cover. Like 4 Paper Marios, well 3 Paper Marios, and Mario and Luigi, so yeah. A lot of RPGs, so we're gonna bog down very quickly after this series. At least Superstar Saga isn't very long. That'll only be like 2 or 3 streams, probably. Yeah, I like planning. I like having things set in stone long before I need them, because I don't like making decisions. I have horrible executive dysfunction. I actually need to add a few more games to my spreadsheet of planned games, because if I have a few more, that would actually qualify. Hi Chibi, welcome on in, hope you're doing well. I am trying not to get dizzy. And not in the haha funny guilty gear way, but just like, oh god, I'm like... It feels like the room is spinning, because it kind of is in the stage. There it is. Now we have the fun task of getting back to the starting area, because that's where the final spheres are. Okay, we got it. Now I just need to not botch this stuff here. And we're good. Again, hey, remember how I was like, we're not gonna worry about the perfects. It's like, okay, me. Just casually lying about that, but we're gonna get to a point where I stop caring. Hydration check. Oh, thank you. It's a good time while we wait for this to load. And yeah, what Aiden said earlier, it's like, yeah, I should play more randomizers too, that'd be fun. I also want to ask friends for some really weirdly specific advice. Because I know friends do a lot of like game clearing type stuff, and I was like, I have a plan for Monday, and if you know me, this should not be a shocker whatsoever. When you see it, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is a certified Yuna moment. So like, if I play a mod of a game that changes out the character, but the character also has a different moveset from like the normal gameplay, would that count as a separate game clear? Because it is sort of different, but also not really. Like, how would that qualify? And it's like, not even like hugely different, just like a little different, as in like the character has one extra move, and like that's the only difference. So it's like, I don't know if I should count that as a game clear separately or not. Just artificially pad out my game clearing list, but at the same time, it's like not really that different. Yeah, when you see what game it is, no one will be surprised when I'm cooking at the moment. Yeah, that's part of the reason I kind of wanted to get through Sonic 3 tonight, hopefully. I know I had sort of talked with Zon about racing a game, possibly next week, but we'll see on that. She still has to take care of some things on her end, so that's kind of pending. Now that would be a game clear if I actually finished the race, oddly enough, because that is a game I have obviously never finished, because why the hell would I? Actually, no, I would have had a reason to finish that game. Like, it's not out of the question that I could have finished that game unless I had the console version of it. So, in a lot of versions of post-Mania Sonic games, you can actually hold up and press A to get Tails to start flying, and you can use that to actually pick up Sonic and carry him forward. However, you can also use that to just get Tails to fly into the boss and deal a lot of damage, so that's really nice. Make this fight a little bit faster. Alright, we're going kind of slow. This is a pretty slow playthrough, but we can actually pick up the pace as soon as we get the final Chaos Emerald. And then it will bog down again once we have to look for these Super Emeralds. The good news is the Super Emeralds, I think, should be easier to find. I do have a guide up. I'm obviously having a hard time reading it while playing this game. Alright, not where I wanted to go, but I guess we're going this path. The funny part is I actually don't really like Sonic 3 as much as I used to. Well, like, I still kind of recognize it as one of the best, like, Sonic games, but I actually kind of lean more towards 2 and Mania for my favorites. Even though I still recognize this as a very good game. Partly because this and Mania are a lot longer, like they take, you know, more like 2 or 3 hours versus like 1 to 2. So it just ends up being a little bit more work, I suppose. So it's not as much of a pick up and play game, I say, as I compulsively play Resident Evil 2 Remake like every few months. Listen, I just really like Claire. I can't make that funny, as funny as I used to, unfortunately. Like, a possibly twisted part of me does miss being able to just say, like, stuff about Claire, as in Redfield, and have all my friends be like, like, trying to figure out how to respond to because of reasons. Wait, is this correct? No. Let me do a little bit of trolling around here. Wow, I'm completely turned around. Never mind, we found it. Shout out to the original version of Sonic 3 in terms of like prototypes, because there are a lot of leaked prototypes of this game. It's how we know that there was beta music to begin with, and that ends up being the music used in the replaced songs in Origins Plus. Obviously, if you have the PC version, you can simply mod these back to the originals. But shout outs to like an early PC build that instead of saying get blue spheres, it's get blue balls. You can probably tell why they changed that. It's like, wow, that is very unfortunate phrasing on that. Alright, 30... we actually can't get the rings. Unless the rings are just kind of scattered about, which I think they might be. But yeah, we are definitely not getting the perfect bonus this time. Actually, we might still have a chance. It kind of just depends on where the rings are. Okay, this is dumb, but we'll see if it works. Yep, it worked. Cool. Hell yeah. Still perfect. Now to completely F it up somewhere else. You know something I would love to show off, even though getting it to run would be... frick. Okay. Damn. Something that'd be really fun to show off, even though it'd be impossible to get running. I've tried, for the record. There was an old electronic systems by like Tiger Electronics called the Game.com. I would love to show off a Sonic Jam port, quote-unquote, to the Game.com. It's awful. It's like grayscale, the music is like unrecognizable. It runs at like 5 FPS or something, it looks like. It's only like the first level of each game, and I think it's missing one of the games. I forget which one it's actually missing. It might be missing Sonic 1, but either way, it's like notoriously bad. It's like whenever people are like, oh, yeah, I'm talking about Sonic Jam for the Game.com. It's like, it makes Sonic Genesis for Game Boy Advance look like a masterpiece. It's missing Sonic 1? Okay. I knew I was missing one of them. Sounds wild, yeah. The Game.com is fascinating. I think it looks awful, but it's fascinating. It's one of those pieces of gaming history that I find really interesting, even though from a purely objective standpoint, it was definitely a mistake. I'm like actually locking in right now. There we go, finally. Okay, we're good. We're fine. No need to worry. Hey, that's all of them. Cool. So we can just stop worrying about this until Angel Island. Not Angel Island, Mushroom Hill.